Hey, this is Bond Diesel, and today I bring you a quick The Division 2 video talking about the beta trailer that just dropped. So let's get right into the information. So first, when will the beta be? Well, we know it's from the 7th until the 10th. The exact dates and times were released today. I'm going to go over it for the Eastern United States and Eastern time zone. So you can preload the Division 2 on February 6th at about 4 in the morning Eastern time. You can start playing at 4 in the morning on the 7th, and the beta cuts off on the 11th at about 4 in the morning Eastern time. I'll put up a graphic. You can see what your local region or area is under. As for actual content, they gave us another graphic here. There's a big write-up on the official website if you want to go read that. We're going to have two main missions, the Grand Washington Hotel and Jefferson Trade Center. We'll have open world to do. There's going to be 5 additional side missions and control points and activities. We'll have Dark Zone and Conflict modes both available. So we'll get to explore Dark Zone East, which it describes as the biggest Dark Zone, and the Skirmish PvP mode. Then we're actually going to get some endgame activity as well. And it talks about this doesn't start until the 8th, and it says at 8 a.m. Pacific time, so that would be I believe about 11 o'clock Eastern time. So we're gonna have invaded mission and a special 3 specializations. It looks like it's the 3 specializations that we've already seen, but this invaded mission is something new, and we'll just have to wait to see what that is, won't we? So, as for the actual trailer, I would like to go through it. I will just mostly play it through, but we will stop when I see some things that I think are interesting. So here is the location of the Grand Washington Hotel mission. It looks like we see some little clips from it. Mind here, there's been kind of a joke going around about how Far Cry New Dawn, Rage 2, and now apparently the Division is going for the post-apocalyptic bright colors theme. Right there is something interesting. This looks like it's in the Grand Washington Hotel. It looks like the image has actually been mirrored. If you look in the background, the Grand Washington sign is backwards, but I imagine that's because they flipped the footage because it looked cooler or something. But that, if you look on the right side of the screen, appears to be a Division agent on a like a Vulcan minigun. So, So here's a look at what appears to be the civilian settlements. This looks like they're going to be kind of like base of operations, but it looks like there's all kinds of people and little vendors and stuff all over, but we'll need to wait to learn more about those. And here we go. So if anyone's familiar with Boston Dynamics, for years now, there's been all these videos they've been putting out of these products they're working on that I believe are mostly for the military, and they want to use them as supply carriers for soldiers and units that aren't wheeled, because wheeled units can get stuck on really rough terrain. Well, if they have legs that kind of looks like a dog, then they can traverse a lot rougher areas. Well, it looks like one of the factions or something that we're dealing with, if you look right in the middle of the screen on the little armor plate there behind the eyes, that appears to be one of the Black Tusk little symbols that we've seen in some other places. So I'm imagining this has something to do with them, and we've got some big old gun or something on top of them. Here you have a better look at the gun. We also see one of the soldiers out in front of us. It looks like some kind of chain gun. It's got a huge muzzle brake on top of it. And I'm wondering if these things on the back of it are some kind of weak points or something like that. Typically in this game, I've found that if it's red, it blows up. And there's another look at the crazy robot Boston Dynamics attack dog. There's our 3 specializations. So we have the sniper rifle, the grenade launcher, and the crossbow. So here we see the checkpoint for the dark zone, and here in a moment, here I find this really interesting. I pointed this out on Twitter. That agent on the left has a gigantic machete on their back. So I'm not sure if that's just aesthetic. If you remember in Division 1, there's all kinds of axes and large knives and stuff like that on the backpacks that we obviously never got to use. But this one seems much more prominently displayed than many of the ones in previous games. So this is exciting for me. I think playing in the DZ for the beta is going to be fun to see how all of that works out. But I'm also really excited to see how skirmish plays out. This is a mode that I can see myself playing a lot of. I definitely see myself doing more DZ this time. But this new skirmish mode, and I assume on release, the domination mode, both look like they'll be fun to actually throw a group together and go face off. Here we see some of the agents. This is some armor and some equipment I don't think we've seen before, if you just kind of look around at the various things that they're wearing. So I'm assuming these are pieces of gear that we haven't seen. One thing I think is really interesting to notice is the 2 agents on the left, their knee pads very much resemble, if not are exactly the same as the high-end knee pad model that we have in Division 1, where the agents on the right are both wearing different types that I don't think we had in Division 1 at all. I go back just a hair here. If you look at this guy, I see there's some green spattering on him. It also looks like he's wearing some heavy like police like riot armor essentially, and then he's holding a real big gun. So I'm imagining this is one of the hyena heavies. This does kind of get rid of my theory that all of the hyenas were women, but I still have a pretty good feeling that the hyena faction will be probably led by women. If you look up how hyenas work and how their packs are organized power wise, the males are at the bottom. And the women are typically in charge. And from some of the stuff we've seen so far, I bet that happens in the game as well. And I believe that's about it. So I'm super pumped about this. Honestly, they're giving a ton of content to play. And I'm actually pretty impressed with how much they're giving and how much is going to be available. The in-game stuff surprises me. The fact that we have DZ and skirmish that's going to be available, and 2 different missions, a bunch of side missions. It is one of those things I'm a little concerned is too much, but we'll have to wait and see. I also think that it seems like this private beta is going to be the main beta. I feel like at one point there was talk of a closed beta, but now that it's talking about private beta and this chance to play for the registration, it seems like they've maybe combined those. It is pretty close here. I still think there's a pretty good chance we get like a straight up open beta right before the game comes out for anyone to try it out. I hope they call it a beta, because I bet it's not going to be perfect, because we wouldn't want to be like another game and call it a demo and it'd be a complete mess. Shots fired. Well, that said, that's about all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed checking the video out with me. And if you liked the video, please subscribe, like, and comment. You can find me on Twitch, where I stream multiple times a week, and on Twitter as Bond Diesel. You can find links to those pages as well as a bunch of other silly projects I have. That's what I have. So until next time.